What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got another edition of The Drive-In, where I watch recently released films and tell you guys whether they're worth watching, worth waiting for, or worth skipping altogether. Today is not necessarily a new film, but it is a late 2024 release, one that I didn't think I'd ever be watching. I didn't really even watch the trailer. When I finally did, I didn't know what to make of it. It's by a director who's one of the most divisive and kind of controversial directors out there for his body of work. I'm talking about M. Night Shyamalan. This one, I'll still bring it to you spoiler-free. It's been out now for like 6 months, but I'll still bring it to you spoiler-free. But I'm talking about 2024's Trap. I saw this on HBO Max, and I figure, okay, I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't think it was worth checking out. He has more misses than hits for me personally, but I think it's worth watching on Max for free and just kind of seeing what I thought of it. And after watching it, I thought it was worthy of talking points for a review. There are a couple small negatives, but I'll tell you, by and large, I really enjoyed this film. And again, spoiler free on this video, but overall, I had a very good time watching this, and it's not without its faults by any means. But wow, did I enjoy this so much more than I expected to. This film, let's get into the credits here, was written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, who you guys know from so many things. I mean, The Village, my personal favorite is The Sixth Sense. He's got the Split trilogy of the split personality situation. He's got The Visit, which was my number 2 Shyamalan film coming into this. And he's got a couple things like Cabin in the Woods, which I thought were absolutely terrible. So I've got a very wide swath of opinions on M. Night Shyamalan's works, from brilliant. Like, I really enjoyed the found footage Visit, and I really enjoyed The Sixth Sense, but then some of the other ones I thought were awful, like the last two. The one about the Lake That Turns You Old and Cabin in the Woods, I thought those were duds. But we're not talking about his old work today, we're talking about his new work today. This film is starring Josh Hartnett as Cooper, Ariel Donahue as Riley, and Salika Shyamalan as Lady Raven, M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, who I didn't realize was a singer, is in this. And basically, the story, without giving too much away, is that Cooper takes his daughter Riley, after getting good grades, to a concert of her favorite artist, Lady Raven. While at that concert, you come to realize that it's a trap, and I don't really know how much is in the trailer. I can't recall it, so I don't want to give too much away. But Josh Hartnett's character finds himself in one way or another in this trap venue where he's trying to escape for his life. And there is a crime documentary, not documentary, but kind of a crime element to this. So Josh Hartnett finds himself enclosed in a giant arena where there are traps laid for him at the escape routes, and he's trying to get out with his daughter for his life. And I will say, number one, the twists in this are pretty good. Once you kind of figured out pretty early who Josh Hartnett is and why he's being trapped, it sets across this kind of crime thriller, but the elements of horror are very much there in this movie. My first positive is the premise. Shyamalan wrote this. I think his last couple were based on books. People love the books and hate his versions of the movies. This is Shyamalan's original work, I believe, and I love the premise of this. I mean, the idea of somebody that is trapped in this place, but it's not a small confined space. It's a giant arena that's got all these areas to play with. It's this larger-than-life building with all these people and all of these guards. So you've got all the interactions with different people, you've got vendors interacting, you've got people on stage interacting, you've got all these security guys at the door, and this one character trying to outsmart them and use them to the best of his ability to get from place to place. So you got this massive place and still no way to get out of it. So they managed to have both the claustrophobic feel and the wide open space in the same movie. This premise is really good, and it's got some dual lives in it too, and we'll talk about that going forward. Number 2, location. Again, I love the arena they used. I don't know exactly where it was shot, but the arena was built wonderfully. The layout for this concert was built wonderfully. You wouldn't surprise me if you told me this was just, they were at an actual concert and they decided to make a movie while they were there. They just wound up going, hey, this would be a cool venue for a movie. Let's just shoot this during an actual concert. Those are the levels of realism that I think really shine in this. Now, there are some parts of the premise that are very unrealistic, and we'll talk about those. But I think as a location, this makes such a unique idea. And Shyamalan, for the last couple things, hasn't been executing his stuff very well, and the locations have been kind of either blended in or stood out, and that's been kind of the only thing about his stuff that stood out. This was a great location, and they shot this location very well. Next thing, the acting. Overall, I really enjoyed the acting from everyone here. I'm going to talk in particular about one in a second, but I want to give credit here to Salika Shyamalan. I did not realize that she was an actor, let alone an actor that could pull off a role like this. Now, not a perfect performance, but overall very solid. I thought Ariel Donahue as the daughter played a realistic daughter where she wasn't grating on your nerves, but she was young and youthful, and you felt like her dialogue in her interactions with her dad were really cute. I love seeing the stuff between Riley and Cooper, the father and daughter, the father trying to get in on his daughter's life, and you could see their close relationship and some of Riley's trauma that has bonded her with her daughter, with her father, but also Cooper is a bit older and he's uncool and he's trying to fit in, but he can't necessarily. They play those roles very well. And then you see the stuff later with Riley and Lady Raven interacting, and it feels like a genuine celebrity fan interaction. So the interactions between these characters really lends itself to a nice story and puts a lot of heart in there. You see a lot of bonding and a lot of heart that kind of tug at your heartstrings for later on when things happen, when characters start to reveal themselves and have twists, and you really feel for the other characters in getting these revelations. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. Cooper's character in particular, it's an interesting character study. Josh Hartnett has always been an actor I've liked a lot, and we know him from a lot of these like late 90s, early 2000s kind of heartthrob roles. He's done a couple little vampire things here and there, but Josh Hartnett shined in this kind of Norman Bates-ish character. He has this multi-layered character where one side is calculated and cunning and very smart and very resourceful, and the other side is just this tender, nurturing, silly father that cares for his daughter. There's definitely a bit of a serial killer separation between the two halves of those characters, and Josh Hartnett plays them both very well. A lot of times characters give away too much of who they are with one side of themselves. Hartnett gives himself evenly distributed in both sides of that character, and I really enjoy this Cooper character. It's fascinating, and yes, partially implausible, but very, very well played by him, leading a group of pretty, overachieving actors that I didn't expect much from, that I really enjoyed. Next thing is the music. This thing happens at a concert, and the entire time, especially in the first 2/3 of the movie, it's all in this one venue while Lady Raven, Salika Shyamalan, is playing on stage. And again, coming from me, didn't know Shyamalan had... I knew he had one child that was a director, becoming a director. Didn't realize he had one that was an actor, let alone that she was actually a singer and used her own music for this movie. Her last album is called Lady Raven, and that's her character's name in the movie. So they used her actual character and her actual songs as the backing track and background fodder for the stuff going on between the father and his daughter and the staff and everything. And the music is really catchy. It sounds very much like a current pop star. I thought to myself, are they just putting someone else's vocals in here? Did they have someone else compose this music? Because it sounds very current pop. It sounds Lady Gaga. It sounds Ariana Grande. It sounds, Olivia Rodrigo. And I looked it up and I went, wow, this is all her actual music that she wrote and she's singing. And the album title is her character name. Brilliant. She's a great performer. She's got charisma. She's got stage presence. She's got vocals. She's got the catchiness to the tunes. She's very, very good. And again, the acting wasn't amazing, but it was very solid. She's pretty and she's personable, and she has nice moments of when the revelations come out and when she has to kind of do things for her own preservation and survival. I really enjoyed her work in this, and the music really added a lot to it because it's going on constantly, so it has to be good and not grating. And I think it's not going to be music that's for everyone, but for everyone of my generation and under, I think will appreciate it. It's pretty catchy, and I found myself wanting to go listen to it after the movie. The only big negative I have for this thing is the implausibility. This thing runs 1 hour and 45 minutes, and I don't think it overstayed its welcome. There's a couple false finishes, false endings you think is going to be the ending, and it's not. And I stayed gripped the entire time. There are some scenes in this that really, really catch my attention and hold my attention for a long time, which a lot of Shyamalan stuff does not do. This does not overstay its welcome, but I will say, for this one particular character to get himself into and then out of different situations and survive different things is very, very implausible. That is the same negative that I gave to Christopher Landon's Drop. I just did the review on Chris Landon's Drop on my channel. It's the one of the last videos that I posted here, and that was the only negative that I gave Drop, was implausibility. This movie makes Drop look like the most plausible thing in the world. There are some circumstances that you go, there's no way. There's absolutely no way this would happen, and it happens several times throughout the film. That being said, I don't really care. My suspension of disbelief was suspended a bit. By the same token, I had so much fun watching this and watching the interactions and watching the concert and watching the how's he going to get himself out of this, that I just really enjoyed it. I had a good time, and that sometimes supersedes the plot holes in the storytelling. The story itself and the acting and the characters and the circumstances were so grand and so fun to watch manipulate that I didn't care about the plot holes, and that is the workings of a good written story and a good directed story. So I'm going to give Shyamalan credit and say this, to me, is M. Night Shyamalan's second best film for me personally, behind what's the Haley Joel Osment movie? Sixth Sense. This is my second favorite one behind Sixth Sense, even more than The Visit, which I enjoyed, more than Split, which I enjoyed. I really like Trapped. Again, if you're looking for a story that has everything neatly tied up in a bow and is easy to suspend disbelief on, you might not like this. If you don't like modern day concerts or modern day music, you might be a little annoyed by it. But I think overall, if you're coming in just for cool characters and relatability to those characters and just a fun time and watching a character have to weave his way through all these circumstances, I think you're going to enjoy this. I loved it way more than I expected. Is it perfect? Not by any means, but I had a good time. 7.5 out of 10 for me. I wish I had seen this in 2024 so I could have rated it. Going back in hindsight now, I think it's worth seeing in theaters. So if you get a chance at some point to see it in theaters, you should. If not, go watch it on Max. Go check it out for free on Max, and I think you'll enjoy that as well. So what do you think of this movie? Tell me in the comments down below. We can talk about it spoiler-free or in spoilers if you like. Please like, share, and subscribe these deep dive videos. Check out my review of Drop and The Coffee Table and a couple other ones that I have on here. I'll be bringing you guys some more coming up pretty soon. I just watched like 4 or 5 recent ones, so I've got more coming down the pike, and I will see you guys soon. Take care and stay scared.